3 years ago, we bought our first home. It was modest. It was enough. And for a while, life was exactly what we had hoped it would be. 18 months later, our neighbors decided to sell. Their house was bigger, better, and it was right next door. We didn't hesitate. After reading every letter, we chose them. A Polish couple, polite, friendly. They only spoke English to us, never Dutch. But that seemed fine. Everything seemed fine. Even before the big incidents, something felt wrong. Loud banging at midnight. Music at strange hours. Not constant. Just enough to make us uneasy. Then his car came home destroyed. Both sides. Deep impact damage that made no sense. He had an explanation. It didn't add up. We chose to believe him anyway. One evening around 6, he called us in pure panic. People outside were turning his security cameras away. He begged us to call the police. We checked the footage. 2 men, deliberately repositioning the cameras before entering. We called the police immediately. Oh! They arrived 20 minutes later. The men were already gone. Nothing was stolen. The police found nothing. And then they left. Later, reviewing our doorbell footage, we saw something that turned our stomachs. Before the break-in, the 2 men stood outside, calmly discussing which house to target. In Polish. It felt rehearsed. A week later, we were at a housewarming party. My partner texted me. The music next door was insanely loud again. Then his next message was not a text. It was a phone call. And his voice had completely changed. A car had driven straight through our front garden and crashed into the neighbor's house. 2 men were loading expensive electronics into the back, in the open, as if time didn't matter. Police arrived in 7 minutes, and they surrounded the men, asked for identification. Both men claimed they had none. One of them looked the officer in the eye and gave our neighbor's name as his own. But something was immediately wrong. Our neighbor never spoke Dutch. This man spoke it fluently. With a Polish accent, they ran. A violent chase tore through the quiet streets of our neighborhood at night, the kind of thing you only ever see in other people's stories. They were caught. And when police entered the house, they found a third man inside who had been there the entire time. While we were outside reporting property damage, our doorbell rang. I opened the door, and I stopped breathing. It was our real neighbor. His face was destroyed. Police tried to help him. He refused, backed against the wall, hand up, shaking his head. The look on his face was not the face of someone who wanted to be saved. He would not cooperate with police, but he was badly hurt. So we drove him to the hospital ourselves. Nobody spoke in the car. At 1 in the morning, our dog woke us. Rigid, growling at the front door. On the security monitor beside the door, a figure stood motionless on our porch. It was him. Back from the hospital. Ringing our bell repeatedly in the dark, we sat completely still inside and did not make a sound. Then a car came down the street slowly. He dropped behind our parked cars and hid. A woman stepped out. His wife. Standing under the street lamp in her red coat, she saw him. And she began to cry. Not loudly. Not with anger. In a quiet, haunting way that was somehow worse than anything else that night. They eventually left together. We didn't see either of them for 3 days. Then she came back alone. She told me she may never see her husband again. Drugs, debt, a marriage gone completely wrong. She didn't explain more. I didn't ask. Because standing there in that ordinary sunny street, I understood one thing clearly. I don't want to know the truth.